Here we are in 2014, a year which sees the University of Warwick reach the age of 49. That's pretty old for something like a horse or a Scotsman, but pretty young for a university. So, as this higher education fetus approaches its half-centenary year, the deadline to become one of the top 50 universities in the world by its 50th birthday looms on the horizon, like the impending doom of mankind. Join me as I take a look at the history of this proud institution and uncover a couple of surprises along the way. Right, so where's the uni then? You what? It's in Coventry, but this is Warwick Station, right? But what? No, because Warwick, right? That's where Warwick University is. Right. So there was already a Coventry University, so they opened in 1992. What's wrong with these people? The University of Warwick was founded in 1965 by Sir Steve, the University of Warwick. Earlier on, I spoke to Sir Steve, the University of Warwick, who for legal reasons is portrayed as a sausage. Hello, Sir Steve, the University of Warwick. Thank you for speaking with us.
No problem.
Now, you have a very interesting second name, but I'm led to believe that the university isn't actually named after you. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct. My second name is pure coincidence. I mean, the university isn't even in Warwick.
I know.
No, in fact, the University of Warwick is a typo. It was originally called the University of Warwick, after the popular singer and actress of whom I was a big fan of at the time. Actually, I'm very cold. Do you mind if I put my jacket on?
Not at all.
Yes, my dream was to make a university world-renowned for its dedication to performance art and affordable education for international students. I haven't checked for a while, but I assume my dream lives on.
Sir Steve, the University of Warwick. Thank you. The University of Warwick has a long and embarrassing tradition of protesting against literally everything, including freedom of speech. In fact, the very first students were drawn from people who came to protest against the opening of the university. These pictures depict the event, and if you look closely, you can see a man by the name of Rick Twain, who we shall speak to now.
Yes, I was here for the first protest in 1965. We felt very strongly that this area didn't need a higher education institute based on the strength of the UK manufacturing industry. I like to think that history has proved us correct. I'm still dead against education.
And now you're a student here?
Correct. I joined the university in 1965 after the first protest against education, and I've been a student here ever since.
How many degrees do you have now?
I'm still on my first degree in disco studies. I mean, just this month alone I've organised protests against bottled water, gristle, irony, interviews, hypocrisy and capitalism.
And I believe that now you are a part-time student.
Yes, I spend half my time running my business manufacturing and selling placards.
Over the years there have been a number of protests on a wide range of issues. The reduction of the English language departmental budget.
What does we want?
Better vocabulary!
When does we want them?
Better vocabulary!
The rise of apathy in British society.
What do we want?
We don't care!
When do we want it?
Then.
And the concept of time itself.
What do we want?
Abolish time!
When do we want it?
The most infamous protest came in recent years when a feminist group campaigned against the campus cost-cutter selling copies of the Sun newspaper, which of course contains the controversial topless page 3. However, due to a mix-up in booking the piazza, a rival feminist group arguing that women should be allowed to be topless just like men, all campaigned on the same day. All topless. Rick Twain recounts.
Ah yes, that was a highly embarrassing moment for the university. The local press turned up and, inevitably, scenes turned ugly when the two rival feminist groups started fighting in front of the Students' Union. It was like Carry On campus. Fortunately, some of the men were able to shepherd the women onto a muddy field behind the library and form a ring around them, thus shielding them from the press. It was awesome.
The Sun remains the highest selling paper on campus. We're gonna have to get back on the train now, aren't we? You know this is gonna be like extra costs, right? What, no. No. You have to like write down on the form exactly what you're gonna spend beforehand. Like, it doesn't work like that. This is like extra costs out of our pockets, right? Jesus. In the 1980s, the university had a mascot, Clyde the Bear, named after the bear and ragged staff symbol of Warwickshire. Clyde was trained to use rudimentary street slang and dance to ska revival music, making him perfect for residency in Coventry. However, disaster struck in 1986 when Clyde escaped from his shackles and went on a rampage, killing 3 students and an associate professor of linguistics before, legend has it, he was wrestled and killed by Lord Roots. This legend was proven false in 1997, when it was pointed out that Lord Roots is in fact a humorous nickname given to the oldest tree on campus, and not a real person. Rumours that Clyde is now teaching philosophy and literature at Coventry University are yet to be quashed. Whoever wrote the links to this whole thing must have researched the university at some point. I mean, like, one of you must have known, you know. You all knew. Well, why didn't you? Well, don't assume things! Over the university's 49-year history, a large array of artwork has accumulated around campus, most notably the abstract sculptures. We asked some of our current students what they thought the sculptures were of.
Is it testicles?
From here they look like testicles.
Testicles.
Kissing penguins? Oh no, wait. It's testicles.
It's a testicle, right?
I heard it's a testicle, and the other one's somewhere else on campus.
Testicle.
A big testicle.
Probably the most impressive installation is behind me now, the invisible sculpture. The architect, Dame Isabel Ringing, said of the sculpture, "It captures the modern attitude to the state of the world portrayed by the media, which is to look at, but not see, what is in front of us. The jarring curves and angular lines represent the inequality we face on the planet, with the gaps between the juxtaposed sculpture carvings symbolising a paradigm of Caledonian anti-syzygy." Probably the most famous piece is behind me right now, the piece called The Cone. That's Cone spelled K-O-A-N, which is the Zen Buddhist concept of asking a question without an answer to aid concentration, such as, what is the sound of one hand clapping? And why does the Vice-Chancellor get such a large pay rise when the rest of the staff don't? It is also a pun on the Ugandan guerrilla army leader Joseph Kony, who commissioned the piece in 1972. The top portion of the cone rotates, and as such was used by senior students to torture freshers until 1992, when it was outlawed by Len Goodman. The library was opened in 1972 amidst protests, and is rumoured to have over 1.2 million books. With an average of 40,000 words per book and an average of 6 letters per word, that's over 288 million letters. That's more letters than there are atoms in the universe. Ducks outnumber students on campus. In fact, the university has the 3rd highest duck population of any university in Europe, and the 2nd highest in the world. It is set out in the university charter that there must be a duck on every single one of the committees, which is why the controversial No Students from Peking Act was instigated in 1989, and remains active to this day, despite protests. The university has several successful sporting teams, largely thanks to the state-of-the-art sports centre behind me. The sports centre boasts a newly refurbished Jim Morrison, 6.5 squash courts, an upside-down swimming pool, a horizontal climbing wall, a 40-acre rugby court and a protest rehearsal suite. There was recent controversy when, amidst cuts to university funding, higher fees, staff pay freezes and layouts, the Vice-Chancellor was offered a significant pay rise. True to form, the students protested against the matter. As usual, the protests were ineffectual and largely ignored by everyone. In the interest of balance, we wanted to interview the Vice-Chancellor. However, he wasn't available. I can only assume he was counting his money. He did, however, release a written statement which will be read by a hamburger.
What these students don't appear to understand is that I have a very big house and like to take many exotic holidays every year. In order to keep up this lifestyle, I need money. Regular staff have smaller houses and go on holiday to places like Blackpool, so they don't need as much money. Also, we must make sure that there are people left to work in McDonald's, Tesco, and as street cleaners for when me and my friends eat too much swan and throw it up. For this reason, it is only fair to charge people £9 grand a year for an education, so poor people get poor people jobs and rich people get rich people jobs, which they are often inept at because Daddy got them the job by pimping out Mummy to the boss, but they get paid for it anyway.
Well, we've seen the university grow from one man's tribute to Dion Warwick to one of the best universities in the country. Will it reach the top 50 universities in the world by 2015, or will it fail like so many privately educated students who do degrees they can't handle? Whatever happens, one thing's for sure, there will be a protest. This is Gerbil McChristmastree at University of Warwick in Coventry, graduating with honours.